By now, everyone has seen the mega viral video of morning routine guy. If you haven't seen it, you're living under a rock. It's this gigantic jack dude who wakes up at 3 a.m. and basically shows you a step-by-step process of him getting ready in the morning, where all he does is put his head in a bowl of ice water, rubs a banana on his face, and then goes to the gym. Now, when I say viral, I mean viral. We're talking 150 million plus views. So viral that the Saratoga Water Company, the bottle that was prominently featured in the video, has seen a massive increase in exposure. Searches for Saratoga water were up 1,000%, and the stock price of the parent company went up by 16%. So now here's the business side of the internet that I love, because this guy here broke down the potential gains from this video, saying that the earned value of all that exposure was near $2 million, and that guy did it all for free. It actually had people speculating that maybe it wasn't for free and that this is all just one gigantic guerrilla marketing campaign. But according to Business Insider, Morning Routine Guy did not get paid, although the Saratoga CMO said that they were loving the memes and now they are in talks to work out a deal, which to me is the right way to do the internet. Because sure, you could obviously make the argument that giving a company 150 million views for free is bad business, particularly if you're purporting yourself to be one of these rise and grind internet businessmen type. However, as a content creator, I would make the argument that doing the video organically will lead to more money and better business down the road. Because sure, you could cover up the logo, or you could use a different bottle, or you could keep Saratoga in it and tag the company and use a hashtag and do hashtag ad. But all of those things would have affected the performance and the virality of that video, because the main reason it's so big is because it's so absurd and so real. That guy not only does all that dumb shit, but he thinks he's like the most impressive man in the world. He really wanted to show off his ice baths for his head and his banana peel facial. And if that's all viewed as an advertisement, it takes away from the absurdity, which then takes away from the virality. By keeping it organic and real, he does 150 million views, the search goes up, the stock price goes up. Now you cash in. Now you negotiate a deal saying, I know I can make your stock price go up, pay me accordingly. Now, of course, there is the chance that it could have the opposite effect. OG meme slinger Tank Sinatra posted this video saying he's been a longtime Saratoga water fan, but now he's thinking about not drinking it, strictly so people don't think he is drinking it because of Morning Routine Guy. So that level of virality goes both ways. Now, this guy's name is Ashton Hall. He's already had 9 million Instagram followers. He already had a social media career, but with this newfound level of fame came a newfound level of scrutiny. And so people did a little research, and they found out that he may have just been evicted from his fancy apartment that he does his morning routine in. A bunch of weirdos on the internet looked up his name. They found that he has this open case against the Condominium Association in Miami. Now, this happens every time somebody finds new radical viral fame. Whether it's Ken Bone or the homeless guy who can sing, people start searching for weird shit like this, you know? And I don't even know if these filings are real. I don't know if it's the same guy, but if it is, it also lists his height and weight and says that he's 5'5", which is probably more embarrassing than being evicted. Top U.S. officials decided whether or not to bomb Yemen by texting in a group chat where they accidentally left a journalist from The Atlantic on a text. Vice President J.D. Vance was texting Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth discussing their war plans. Vance was saying, if you think we should do it, let's go. I just hate bailing out Europe. And then Pete Hegseth replied, I agree. The European freeloading is pathetic. And then someone under the initials SM said that if we're going to do it, we should get some sort of economic gain. All the while, journalist Jeffrey Goldberg was on the chain watching all these texts come through. Now, Goldberg said he thought there was no way this is real. He thought it was a prank. He thought it was fake. And then all of a sudden, they actually started dropping bombs on Yemen. And when the airstrike started, these guys started texting each other emojis. The American flag, the fire emoji, good start. These guys are talking like their team in March Madness just came out of the gates hot. I mean, listen, we all have our issues with group chats, right? I can't tell you how many group texts I'm in where I'm like, how did I even get on this? Why am I here? While my phone buzzes every 2 seconds because 10 people, 5 of which I don't even have stored in my phone, are texting me nonstop. But it's usually about like the Mets or the Jets, not Middle Eastern airstrikes. I mean, let he who hath not accidentally group texted casteth the first stone. You know, we've all done that. We've all texted the wrong person by accident. You send a text to the person that you're talking shit about because you're thinking about their name, or you forget someone's in the group text and you're talking gossip. You're like, oh my God, was Jeffrey on that text? We were talking a lot of shit about his girlfriend. But it's not like, oh man, did we tell Jeffrey that we're bombing Yemen? After many years of controversy, the live-action remake of Snow White is here. And after the opening weekend, it is one of the biggest flops, and it's one of the biggest lightning rods in Hollywood today. From big budgets to low ratings, here's everything you need to know about Snow White and how big of a bomb is it really? Now, after the opening weekend, Snow White made $43 million domestically, and then it did another $44 million internationally, which puts them at an opening weekend of $87 million. They were hoping to hit $100 million. So, about like 10, 15 million off the pace. Not great, but not some catastrophic bomb type numbers, particularly if you look at where it stacks up against the other live action remakes. It's certainly there at the bottom, but you can see it's just underneath Dumbo and right above Mufasa, the Lion King, which was the lowest opening weekend of all time for a live action remake. Furthermore, despite the fact that Mufasa, the Lion King was a total dud on the opening weekend, it went on to make $700 million worldwide. So some people are saying, despite all the negative press and coming in low at the box office opening weekend, if you're going to compare it to Mufasa, it might actually still be a success. However, the problem with Snow White is that it cost $270 million to make, plus at least another $100 million in marketing and promotion. Some people say it's usually double the production budget. So all in, Snow White's going to cost between like $350 and $500 million to make. So it's going to need some miracle turnaround, just like Mufasa, to even crack the $500 million mark to start making money. But money isn't everything. So what about some of the reviews? Got 42% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it did get a 74% on Audience Meter, and I'm a much bigger believer in the Audience Meter than the critics. But if you head over to Metacritic, it got a 1.2 out of 10, and IMDb has it at a 1.8, which I believe is like one of the lowest movies of all time. So the reviews are not great. They're making headlines saying it's a hot mess. People are saying Gal Gadot's performance was as bad as it gets, that she was super stiff. Some people are saying that it felt like a straight-to-DVD type movie, except it had a $250 million budget. Now, all of that might be true, and the movie might suck, terrible acting, all that. But all of this stems from political controversy. It all began a couple of years ago when Rachel Zegler said that the original Snow White was creepy and stalkerish, so that they reimagined the entire Snow White story where they didn't need Prince Charming to come save her, and they turned it into like this feminist story. Zegler also put up this Instagram post during the Trump election saying that she hopes that Trump and all of his supporters never find peace. And then you throw in this Free Palestine comment, sprinkle in the CGI controversy because they didn't actually hire any little people to play the dwarves. It was all CGI. And you have a recipe for disaster. I'm not saying this movie doesn't suck. I'm sure, it sounds like the acting is atrocious. Sounds like the budget was overinflated. And Rachel Zegler she comes off as a sanctimonious asshole. I don't understand why having a love story is now somehow anti-feminist and how that makes like a movie misogynistic. And so, yeah, I understand if Snow White fans are like, you shit on the movie, you completely changed one of Disney's biggest properties, told us that it sucks, and yeah, now we fucking hate it. That's all totally valid. My point is that there are people who wanted this movie to bomb from the jump. Because of their politics, because of what she said, they want this movie to bomb no matter what. Like, it could be like Mufasa, and it could still go on to make money, and people don't want to see that happen. So they're not even giving it a shot. There was no chance that those people were going to ever say a good word about Snow White. Before Amir Khan, there was Haley Welch, one of the all-time great 15 minutes of fame stories who took the world by storm with one famously provocative meme of spitting on that thing, Hak Tuah. As everybody knows, the Hak Tuah girl hit the ground running after her newfound fame. She started a podcast. She started showing up literally everywhere. Everybody wanted a piece. She was even one of the gimmicks of the 2024 Mets. She was rescuing dogs, throwing out the first pitch, the whole nine. However, all of this goodwill came to a screeching halt when she dropped a meme coin, unknowingly got in bed with some scam artists, rug pulled a bunch of investors, and then poof, disappeared. And after the rug pull, people were calling for her to go to prison. They were saying she's a liar and a scam artist. And so Haley went on Twitter and she joined a Twitter conversation where she was supposed to explain herself and clear up any misconceptions about the crypto disaster. She famously dipped out of that conversation super abruptly by just saying, "Anywho, I'm going to bed," and disappeared. And while the jokes continued for the next couple months, Haley truly ghosted the whole internet. And so everyone was wondering, when's she going to wake up? When's she going to get out of bed? Well, fast forward to March, she woke up. She posted this clip where it puts her all in a dream sequence. Now, I don't know where Miss Tuah's career is going to go from here. What's the redemption arc? Does she need to become a meme again? Does she need to drop a new coin? Deadline reported that they're doing a goddamn Hak Tuah documentary. First of all, how can you make a goddamn documentary on someone that's been around for 6 months? People make documentaries of stories that are like decades old, when books have been written about the topic and like the whole world wants to learn more and there's mystery and intrigue. What in the world is a documentary going to be about Hak Tuah? For 75% of the time she's been famous, she was notably disappeared. She was gone. How do you make a documentary where someone's half of their fame has been her doing nothing? It's madness. Second of all, if they don't call that documentary Doc Tuah, they totally missed out. The idea that tall women, or just women in general, all desire a taller man, you can go ahead and just put that idea to bed. Because this is Lucas Bird, a 5'5" Illini senior wrestler who just won the national championship at 133 pounds. That's what I weighed in like 6th grade, okay? Now, being a wrestler kind of makes you an oddball in general. You put yourself through hell. You got the fucked up ears. You're always working out in a garbage bag. You can lose like 30 pounds in a day, and you always got ringworm, okay? However, that doesn't mean you don't have game. That doesn't mean that you're just some like weirdo incel. Because at the end of the day, wrestlers are men, okay? And specifically in Lucas's case, he put the whole sports world on notice because not only is he the baddest man at 133 pounds, but because his girlfriend is a foot taller than him. I mean, what the hell is going on here? Look at this girl. The physics alone are mind-boggling. How does that all line up? How does that even work? And she's not just like kind of tall. She's tall. We're not talking like 5'10". She's 6'3", okay? She's basically the same height as Brock Lesnar. And you can see here in the video, Lucas wins. He immediately runs over to his friends and family, and then he jumps into the arms of his girlfriend. And it's not like, you know, he jumped in it romantically. He like forcefully jumps, and she catches him like it's Dirty Dancing. And then while she's towering over him, she grabs his entire face and like puts this big juicy kiss on him. She engulfs the whole guy's body. It's like he was defenseless. I feel like she could have taken him down to the mat if she wanted. Imagine being this guy. You train your whole life for this moment. You win, and you're not the champion. You're just the wrestler who's got this 6'3" girlfriend. How does this even happen? I feel like I'm going to lose sleep over this. Like, did you ask him out? Does she ask you out? Does she just tell him like, hey, little bitch, you're mine now? Is this like a fetish? Who makes the first move for 5'5" to 6'3"? At the end of the day, this kid's either got a hog or he can just take down everybody on earth. Like, yeah, I'm the size of your average, you know, American female, but I will break your bones and dislocate all your joints.
It's that time again. Pop up on your screen. It's the 1 minute man. Y'all know what I mean? The boy KFC. We ain't talking about the chicken. A minute go by and the clock be ticking. Hot takes with stakes. Greatest in all the land. Don't blink, you'll miss it. It's the 1 minute man.